Hello, 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 everybody. My name is Jackson Black. Welcome to the one, two, three, the third episode of the Jackson Black Show. My name is Jackson Black. This is my guest tonight, the 1, 2, 3 man, the falls count in this ring, Patrick O'Malley. All right, ladies
Hey,
and
what's
how
up?
you doing, buddy? Oh,
I'm doing good.
awesome. I'm gonna run through these shows and then we're gonna get to the fun stuff. So coming up, this Saturday, Tennessee All Pro Wrestling, Tyler Thorne's birthday bash in Morrison, Tennessee. Uh, Again, that's this Saturday. I'm thinking 7:30 is probably the doors. Get there, check it out on their website. SPCW number 77, the JPWA Fall 2022 graduation is happening that night. A couple of my friends are in that. Check them out. They're going to be tearing it up or are already tearing it up as we speak, and that is in La Follette, Tennessee. We have JCP coming up, and I think that's Friday, and that's in Decatur, Tennessee, and that is Christmas for the kids because, everybody's got to have one. ETCW, a show that I run, Still Hate You, Rex Riley. Christmas Chaos, and that is Christmas night, and that is in Alcoa, Tennessee. MSWA with the Natural Chase Stevens, who I beat for this is Natural New Year's, and this is January 14th in that really terrible town of Rockwood, Tennessee. And then coming up this Saturday in Boonville, Mississippi, they got a show. Check it out. It's going to be good stuff. And now we'll go on to what is happening currently as I check my watch. It's 8:06, so the card has started. AEW Dynamite. We have Chris Jericho going 1-on-1 with the American Dragon Bryan Danielson for the ROH World Championship. We got Pac, the bastard, versus Orange Cassidy for the All-Atlantic Championship. Jungle Boy gets his hands on Luchasaurus. Tony Storm and Hikaru Shida versus Dr. Britt Baker, DMD. And Jamie Hayter, the interim AEW World Women's Champion. And then we have one of my favorites, Shane Swerve Strickland versus Daddy Ass Billy Gunn. And that's what's coming up on AEW Dynamite tonight, right now. All right, brother, let's get to the meat potatoes of this shiznit.
Well, before we go, I've got to
Okay.
correct you. They took the interim tag off of Jamie Hayter.
Oh, did they?
They did,
See, guys,
and
I suck at
they
life.
they named Tony Storm's reign as not interim either after she lost the belt.
Well, that's oh, I guess everybody gets an award. I mean,
Yeah, it's just participation.
it's not interim anymore, okay? I'm the real champion. No, you are. You beat me up, and I'm afraid of her, and she would probably beat me up. So, brother, how's it going? What's going on in your neck of the woods?
Not a whole lot around where I'm at. There ain't really nothing going on. Just doing the shoot job during the day and not a whole lot at night. Ain't nothing going on out here.
I feel it. I've seen it.
Well, I'm actually not from Mississippi though.
Oh, where you at?
I'm about 2 hours from Nashville in a town called Lexington.
Oh, okay, okay,
Yeah, I'm actually in Tennessee.
okay. So you can make that long drive too, then.
It's about an hour and a half for me. You
It's
hate me now, don't you?
despicable, despicable. As a kid, I always they would always ask the question like, "What would be your superpower?" And like as a kid, I would be like, "Oh, I want to fly." You know what I want now? I want to instantly be able to transport places.
Yes.
Brother, I'd be all around the world. Just they'd be like, he just did a show in Japan, and now he's interviewing somebody in Switzerland. Yes, such is my life.
Yes. That would be great.
So what
You
got
wouldn't
you in? What got you into the business, my man?
honestly, man, when I first got in, I was looking to wrestle. And I went through a few training sessions and I was like, man, I don't know about it. I've had so many injuries from playing football, basketball, baseball, all that stuff growing up. And I was like, maybe the wrestling is not for me. But I'm gonna do the next best thing. I'm gonna be right there in the ring, calling the action. So that way I'm still involved in the next best way. And because if you look at it today, I take a lot of pride in that craft. And there's not a lot that, I'm not going to say that. There, a lot of the gooder, a lot of the good refs are getting older. And I think in the next few years, there'll be a demand for good refs. And so I wanted to take this time to just kind of hone that craft and prepare for the next few years.
I fully agree. I've been in the ring with some not so great referees. I almost knocked a guy out one time. Like, was going for something and he was right there, and I kicked him with my feet, and I was like, "You good, man?" And he wasn't, but
Hey, if I'm ever in the way, knock me out. I don't care.
right.
I mean, if I'm in the way, it was my fault.
So you were talking about you wanted to get into the business as a wrestler. Who were your guys like as you were growing up? What were the guys that you were looking up to?
Oh, it wouldn't have been the style I wrestled at all because I'm a bigger guy and this guy's not. But seeing Jeff Hardy, that dude is the one who made me want to get in. And then the one that I kind of wanted to emulate his style a little bit was when Randy Orton was doing his Viper gimmick, that feud with Triple H he had where they were just breaking into each other's houses and Randy kissed Stephanie and stuff. That was gold. That's the one that won me over.
I love it. I love it. So what age did you start watching wrestling?
I remember from a very young age, my dad, he worked third shifts, and I would always stay up, wait on him to get home, and we'd watch whatever wrestling was recorded. Of course, I don't know any of the guys who were wrestling then, and then I kind of got out of it for a while, and then like seventh or eighth grade, I got back into it, and I've just been hooked ever since.
I feel that. I remember being in like I think it was like maybe eighth grade, and I was sitting there and I was like, because I would get pumped, but like I'm not the person that stands around. Like I got to be moving, or my body just starts to. I remember the first time I missed the Monday Night Raw,
Oof.
dude. I was sitting in front of it. I woke up. It was like 10:58. The little logo was in the bottom, and they're like, "See you next time." And I was like, "No, no, I'll never get this back."
And that was back before DVRs and stuff. You couldn't have watched it later before streaming. None of that. It was just gone.
It was gone forever. You have to like hopefully I would like get I got up, I think I got on the internet and I was like I've stuffed pillows in the thing so the dial-up noises would and I was like
Yes.
trying to get it. I never got to know. I never knew what happened. And I think it was probably a good. They were all good back then. Like there was nothing bad about it.
Yeah.
So like as a ref, man, like I know that your job's hard and I know you're like in there for I'm an advocate for refs getting paid well because you're in there so much. You're up and down, you're down and up, you're outside, you're running around chasing us egomaniacs around.
You mainly.
It's hard. It's a hard gig, man. I don't
Yeah.
envy it. I only have to go out there for a second. You have to stay out there for multiple times and deal with multiple egos. Okay, so that leads me into a fun one. So, I know when you pat down people sometimes, or sometimes, your head's turned, there's a foreign object or something that pops up. What's the funniest foreign object that you've ever come across in wrestling?
Uh, the I don't guess for this particular match you could call it a foreign object because it was a no DQ match. But in Middleton, Tennessee, Perky Will versus Jason Genesis, there was a baby gate involved in that match, and it gets better. Jason used a bungee cord between Perky's gauges and pulled back on it. So it's a tie between the baby gate and the bungee cord.
I'd rather take the baby gate. I'll take it rock Ken Shamrock style. Just like blast me in the face with it. There's no way I want my orifices like stretched with a. Mm-mm.
Yeah, I didn't envy him at all during that moment because I have the gauges too, and I ref in that match. There's a picture going around from then. And I'm just in the bag, like, oh no, keep that bungee cord away from me.
Oh, oh, oh! You got me all messed up on that one. That's terrible. So say there's some youngins that they don't want to be the maybe wrestling's not for them. Like, what would be your advice to get them? Maybe they want to be a ref or something. What would be your best advice for them to get into that side of the business?
Honestly, for me, like when you're first coming in, like there's been a few refs who I've like helped along the way. One of the first things I talked to them about, just because it's something that I felt like I should have known from the beginning, and I really didn't until I got to TV, is hard cam and like how to stay out of way of cameras and stuff like that. That's one of the first things I like to talk about. Even like on the first night, we put somebody in the ring, and like just last weekend at EPW, there's a guy there who's been reffing, and he's reffed like 3 to 4 matches, and I noticed him like mid-match realize he's in the way of the camera, even though it wasn't TV, and get himself out of the way. I'm like, that's a sign of growth there, realizing you're in the way and staying out of it. And then, honestly, other than that, I know they say it for the wrestlers too, but I feel like it's prevalent for us too. Cardio. My cardio's not the best, but it gets me by. But cardio. Anytime you're in that ring, cardio.
Oh, I got your ass next time.
Oh no.
600 falsies. We're going outside, inside, outside, inside.
Look, if y'all are doing that many falsies and quick pins and everything, I'm just gonna lay there and wait on you to finish. And when both of you get up, I'm gonna get up.
Oh, we're gonna fall down because we're exhausted. We're too tired.
I'll just stay there.
Oh, so what's been your favorite? Let's go favorites first. What's been your favorite in-ring? Anything you've been a part of that's been like, oh, this is really fucking cool.
So I got a list of like 5, but I'm gonna talk about one first. It was just because I grew up watching the guy, and it was really cool to be in the ring with him. Davey Richards versus Jason Genesis. Getting to ref for Davey, that dude is such a professional and such an in-ring general. It's insane. And just seeing, also me being in the corner, him standing on the top rope and do that wolf howl that I grew up watching him do on TV, it was surreal for me. I was like, dude, I'm in the ring right now while this is happening. It was insane. And then the Perky Wheel, Jason Genesis with the baby gate and the bungee cord, and I think there was jumper cables involved in that match too. Yeah, you'll have to ask Perky about it because he took the jumper cables too. I think, and if I remember correctly, he also took the baby gate. He took it all. And then there was another one from New South down in Alabama. It was Donnie Primetime and Stunt Marshall versus Big Dave, Positive Lee, and one of their coaches there named Coach Lacey. That, man, it was cool. I ended up getting knocked out in that match. Got to lay there for a little bit. But about the time I was coming to, I seen the coach do the Goldberg spear and jackhammer. And it was golden. I'm like, man, this guy needs to be in the business. Like, get this man out of this high school. Keep that man in a wrestling ring. That was one of the coolest things I've seen because he had literally just done the training for that match that day. He gets in there and just kills it.
Busting out jackhammers.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And anytime I get to ref for Marco Stunt's a class act. Honestly, he's one of my favorite people to work with. I've got to work with him like 3 times. He's one of my favorite people to work with. Dude's a class act. One of the nicest guys.
I feel like you should always be nice. I try to be nice to everybody. I hate dickheads. Dickheads and floppy hand people. You know the ones? You know the guys.
The limp fish?
They'll come through and they'll be like, hey, I was like, well, I'm not kissing your hand. What the fuck is happening right now?
Yes. Yes.
Have you seen that Jack Vaughn video of like all the handshakes?
Dude, I love Jack Vaughn. Every video that man makes is hilarious. Did you see the one he just did of the indie wrestling versus professional wrestling DDT?
Yeah.
At
Yeah.
the very end of it, just thigh snap as he's laying there after the move's already happened.
I remember how I first saw him. He was doing the warm up, the warming up for indie wrestling, and he's doing the squats. Thigh slap.
Yes. Yes.
I had him on. I was gonna be interviewing him when I was on the other show, for something. So I'm gonna reach back out to him and see if we can get him on this one.
Yes. I remember you telling me about that. I
And
was
then
looking forward to that one.
Then it just all went to shit. Just all went to shit.
I blame you.
I blame me. It's always
It's
me.
always your fault. Yeah, always.
Oh, you'll pop for this one. So we just had a show. It was MSWA in Rockwood, the place that I trash all the time. Rockwood, your piece of trash city. Bro, we're second match. It's me, this guy Tyler Foshi. Good wrestler. He comes out, or I come out to the fight song of their rival school. Brother, that is the longest running high school rivalry in the state of Tennessee since 1921. So it's already going boo. So I go into the ring. I jaw jack every fan there. There's little kids flipping me off, and I'm like, oh yes, this is it. I can keep myself warm by the fire with this one. So we get like a third of the way through the match. We go to the outside. Dude, he started hitting me into people's shoes. And so some kid straight kicks me in the face. Because he didn't get the idea of just put your foot up, kid. So he kicks me in the face. So I'm not having that shit. So I post him. I give him a big old post. I walk around the whole ring with my arms up like this. That place, I thought I was about to get I thought it was about to be like, oh, you just hit a field goal and you won, and the whole crowd came in. They were cussing me out. Nothing feels better than getting booed by like 200 plus people ever.
Oh, I couldn't imagine. Major heat right there.
Oh gosh, the marshmallows were toasted. They were toasted. So have you taken? I know everybody does it. I'm not gonna fucking do it. I don't wear a fanny pack, so I guess I'm not allowed. Have you done the Buc-ee's post yet?
No.
Good.
So I've only been to Buc-ee's twice. And genuinely, I don't get it. I don't like it. There's way too many people there. It's just a money trap. Is all it is. Like, I went to Knoxville to go see the Tennessee-Alabama game. Go Vols. So I went up there for that, and we stop on the way in, and I don't even like this place, and I still walked out spending like $40. I'm like, why? How did they do it? Dude, yeah.
It's the Walmart of gas stations.
I walked in just to use the bathroom and get a drink, and I come out with some Tennessee Vols fuzzy dice and a Yeti cup. And I'm like, I didn't even get a drink.
I needed this shit.
And that's what I come in for, with a drink, and I didn't even walk out with it. Yeah, I don't like that place.
Oh, because I remember for a while there, a couple years ago, it was like everybody was wearing a fanny pack, and they were all taking a picture with a beaver or whatever the fuck, a woodchuck or fuck, I don't know what it is.
I think it's a beaver.
Beaver.
I don't know.
Woo! Go Beavers! I asked this to my guest last week, and he didn't really have. He had a couple of okays. I want a good fucking road story. I know they exist. I know you got one.
Man, I'm gonna expose myself here with this one. I'm exposing myself with this one.
Just keep the camera up at this level, and we're great. We're great.
So to Middleton from Jackson, which is just like from like 45 minutes to an hour. And I don't know what it was about this day, but like I'm just driving along and I see a red light coming. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna stop for the red light. So I'm sitting there for like 2 to 3 minutes. I'm like, dude, when is this red light gonna change? Like, what is going on? I didn't realize I was just stopped in the middle of the road. I wasn't at the red light until this car just drove around me and went through the red light. I haven't lived this down yet.
Oh
It was a
man.
car full of 5 people that day. I have not lived this moment down any. I guarantee I'm going to hear about this in the group chat when I get off of here. They're going to be like, oh, you actually told the story?
Oh, I've been there. I stopped at the stop sign for a couple of minutes and was like, is this shit ever gonna change? Stop signs don't change. I did get a ticket for running an imaginary stop sign once. They just wanted to pull me over. I would get it. I was like, they were probably cold and they wanted next to all the fucking nuclear heat that comes off of me. I get it. Oh man. So what was that? So if you could be in the ring refereeing any match of I always love blow-offs of feuds myself, but if you could be a part of any feud blow-off match, what would be the one you'd want to be in there with?
Like as in past, like stuff that's happened,
It can
or
be any point in time.
being a Jeff Hardy guy myself, I would have loved to have been the ref for the match where Edge speared Jeff Hardy as he's hanging from the belt.
Oh God, I remember that.
I was like, ugh. I can only imagine how bad that one hurt. But and then currently, like present guys today, I'd really like to be involved with a Darby Allin. Darby reminds me a lot of Jeff, and I was like, man, I'd like to rep one of that guy's matches.
You just have to get your arms ready to be like,
yeah.
Jesus.
I've only had to do that one time, and it was a work. It wasn't even for real. So,
dude, I had to cut my match short. I was like, yo, we gotta take it home, man. And he's like, what's up? And I was like, well, my foot's like really fucked up right now, so like I can't stand. So we got to come up with something real quick.
Roll me up, baby. Roll me up.
Just do something. Oh, that's funny. So what's like your favorite promotion to work at? Like, you can do top 3 to make it so no one wants to hate you.
Well, if I did top 3, I would only name the 2 I'm currently working for.
Oh, there you go.
So, I can't give top 3 because, like I said, there's only 2. I can't really pick between the 2 just because they're so different. Like EPW, I love just because it's like that traditional style of wrestling that like everybody around here enjoys, that gets over, like the old school wrestling. But when I go to New South, I love going there too because that's a mixture of both. They got the guys who do the flippy stuff. They got the indie style. They got the technical style. They got a little bit of everything there. And so it's always really cool when I get to go there. But in a sense, I also love EPW. I just like a little bit of a mixture of both.
I feel that. Here's a funny fucking story. So,
okay,
legitimately, I'd say a good amount of the roster of New South used to be part of a promotion that changed twice. It was 127 Pro Wrestling. I don't think it was they were there yet. But then it turned over to Galaxy Pro Wrestling. And there you had like Kinsey Page's, Hunter Drake's, Big Dave was up there. And then it turned back to 127. They all left. All the good dudes left. They all half the I looked at a poster for New South and it was like, I was like, holy shit, there's Hunter, and there's Kinsey, there's fucking everybody. They're right there. Yes. So they just switched up and went over there. Dylan McQueen was I think he was the booker there.
Mm.
All those guys, a lot of JPWA guys are just like, I might be biased or whatever, but fuck, I mean, we're like everywhere.
You really are. I can't tell you how many times when I was working for a promotion called TCW. Man, just in like my less than a year there, I think I seen like 3 JPWA graduations for, like that they did. I was like, goodness, these
I was
guys are
part of one.
everywhere.
I was part of
Were
one when
you?
but it was USA. It was right before like I think it was like a
Oh,
couple months before Bert died.
okay. I wasn't in the business then.
Yeah, I tripped up the steps, and that was like my origin story of heel, of just wanting to be a heel. I tripped up the steps. No one tried to help me, and I was like, "Yeah, that's what you get in a crappy town like this." And that's where I was
So
born.
I remember that. I was at that show. Me and my dad used to go to USA shows. I do
Uh,
remember that. This guy had your
that was the beginning of me.
at least he didn't pull the Titus O'Neil though and just slide under the ring.
I would have stayed under. I mean, like that was a crazy ride because I went from there, like drove all the way up there, and then I had to drive like all the way to like almost maybe a little bit before Crossville to get married the next day. It was fucking terrible. I was so tired. And I was like,
Or
yeah, I'm a wrestler. I can come up on the fly with my wedding vows, not knowing that I was like that was my first that was like a 10-hour. That was like a Mississippi drive. That was my first one. I couldn't come up with shit. I was up there, my wife had like a whole list of shit, and I'm like, I love you.
hey, simple and straight to the point.
Right? It
I mean,
was
that's it.
terrible.
Are any of those guys from your class still around here?
Shit. Okay, so my class consisted of they're doing stuff in I want to say Missouri, but that's probably not fucking right. There's a girl named Kelsey Magnolia.
I
Uh,
do remember her. Yeah.
there was a guy named Jeffrey Hudson who's now Warren Adams or some shit. Uh, he's working. That's it. Which is usually the case. I don't know what it is about people going to wrestling school, but they're like, "I fucking went to wrestling school." And then there's a guy, I'm not going to name names. He's in one of my group chats, and fucking love him. He's a great guy. He's always texting me. He's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna get back in there and go for it." And I was like, "Dude, it's been like a year. Like, you lost all the knowledge you had. You gotta fucking work."
Yeah. Man,
So
I get that too, because like this weekend, I'm not gonna be able to do any wrestling shows this weekend because I'm gonna be out of town for my shoot job, and I'm like, man, a week that's gonna be so long. Like it's gonna be forever. Yeah, I'm not
I
looking forward to it.
totally feel that. Like, I had like a little bullshit injury. I needed a couple weeks, and I was like, 2 weeks. 2 weeks felt like a fucking year. I was like, oh my gosh. I'm like going
Yes.
heel. I'm like ribbing my kids and giving them shit. And like, hey. And they're like, what are you talking about? I'm like walking around the house. I'm like, you better say your prayers and eat your vitamins. Jesus. I
Just
can't. I
walking
can't.
around the house cutting promos.
Cutting promos, clotheslining children. Like it's hard. It's hard to do that. I
Yeah.
know it sucks. So what's been your favorite like one-on-one in this past year that you've got to see?
Uh, in the past year, I'm trying to think of when it was. Oh, it's hard for me to pick like a favorite in the last year, but I do want to bring up a match, and I feel like they all pretty much involve the same guys for at least some combination of it. But Marco Harris, that man's debut match last year, I want to say against Jason Genesis, dude. Marco's so good. That kid is so talented. Like that man blows me away every time I get to watch him in the ring. blows my mind.
Fucking athletic kids.
Don't you wish that was you?
No, I love hurting people.
Well,
I
I
like
mean,
to.
you can be athletic and hurt people.
Oh, I like to stretch them. That's my thing. I like to stretch
Okay.
people.
That
Like
would.
they were asking, somebody asked me, like, "What's your top?" And I was like, "I don't even have to give you my top. It's Zack Sabre Jr. That's my top.
Yeah.
That man can stretch. I can say whatever the fuck I want. That guy can stretch like somebody worse than like a extra large porn star. Like that dude can stretch.
I've always said, like, because I can't do all that stuff. Like, if I would have made it, like, wrestling, my injuries wouldn't have caught up to me doing that. I always said I'd be like a Bray Wyatt. I'm not going
I
to do
could,
anything flashy. I'm just going to mow you over. Like,
right?
that's it. Like, I could do the Bray Wyatt stuff. His is simple and just powerful.
Yeah. Staying in a character is one of the hardest things I've ever. I tried, but I can't be a character. I just got to be a piece of shit. Like that's what I am. That's what I got to be. I got to just stay in my wheelhouse.
Well, I think you're nice sometimes.
Hey,
It just depends on when I catch
don't
you.
pull the fucking curtain, okay? Okay,
Well, didn't you do that with the podcast?
pull the curtain a little bit.
A little bit.
A little bit. But I still say like fuck Rockwood because that's a trash town, and the only thing good about it is driving past it.
See, I've never been there. I can't speak on it.
I mean, you're not missing much. I think they got a Piggly Wiggly. Those are on the way to Mississippi, so you're definitely not missing much.
Hey, we still got a Piggly Wiggly in the town where I went to high school at. Take that back. It just changed to a food giant last year.
Food giant, bigger than
Yeah.
all the rest.
Yeah.
So, do you have any like referee, like who like it? I don't know who you would look up to as a referee because there's like the fucking three. There's Minnie Flair, who's one of my favorites.
Charles Robinson.
Yep.
Mike
And
Chioda.
the head nurse, Mike Chioda.
Oh. And Marty Elias. Man.
Yes.
Dude, I was looking at some of the stuff he's done the other day, like telling my dad about him because dad didn't know who he was. And I was like, dude, this man reffed Shawn Michaels and Undertaker at Mania 25. Like that guy has done so much in the business and still out here doing it today. Not as big, like, and in a different way. Like, instead of wrestling TV, he's like finding people for Young Rock, but he's still involved in it. Like, that's what I want to be. I just want to be in the business as long as I can, doing whatever, even if I'm not in the ring reffing. Like, I'm just here for a good time.
Not a long time.
I mean, hopefully a long time.
Hopefully a long time. Yeah, my plan has always been I want to. Fuck, you just can't ever say unless you get like some debilitating injury or something. There's people doing it like Action Mike Jackson. Fucking Steamboat just wrestled. Flair has wrestled.
Well, Flair shouldn't have, but he did.
He did. Steamboat was crazy. That's just crazy.
See, I haven't seen that one. I haven't seen it. I knew he did it, but I haven't seen it.
I'm not. This disclaimer: I am not burying anybody right now. I'm trying to give Insane Dane the name the Dragon Killer. Dane may or may not have accidentally, not on purpose, totally not on purpose, might have like dinged up the dragon a little bit before his return of the dragon.
This is gonna have to be a story I ask him. I want to know this.
Yeah, I just don't want to bury him. But I was like, dude, you should go by the Dragon Killer. He's like, no one will get it. And I was like, fuck, no one has to get it.
I mean, that's a cool name.
It's just a cool fucking name. He's like, I remember, and this is another one. I swear that I came up with his T-shirt. I swear I did. I swear I did. I'm going to have to scroll through. But like, I was like, you know, it'd be a cool shirt for you. I was like, your face like all crazy and then friends. And then somehow that's a shirt now. I'm not saying it was me or I want my 5%, but
Well, not to put anybody over, your design ended up in my room, so
my
I have
design?
the I have the shirt, the
Oh,
insane
you
Dane.
got the Insane Dane shirt?
Yeah,
It's a good fucking shirt. I
it
was like,
is. Well, I mean, see, I had to go with it too. He's a redhead. I'm a redhead. I could just say it's me.
right? Be like, that's actually me. Hey
Yeah,
girl, that's me.
I see. I could.
So who's like you? Like so you said Marco. Who's been some guys you've been seeing coming in that just you're like, holy shit, that guy has a good chance.
Man, other than Marco, Damon Stryker.
Ah, fuck that kid up. I'm just
Dude,
kidding. No, he's super talented.
the athleticism of these people that young is insane to me. Like there was some God, I can't remember what his working name was or what his real name was now. But there was a kid from MIW who he was kind of rough around the edges and had a lot, but the athleticism, I couldn't talk there for a minute, was insane. Like I don't get it. It makes me jealous, honestly. All these young kids coming in doing the athletic stuff. It makes me jealous that I can't do it.
I love it because I'm gonna be like, jump to me. Come on, do some flippy shit. And
Yes.
then boom, you're stretched out. And you're like, what the fuck just happened? Don't jump on me. I think it was my guy Zach Sabre Jr. He goes, when they go to the fucking top of the building and they're gonna flip off on you, just move. Just
Samoa
move.
Joe. Man, I love when he does that spot. When they jump off the ropes and he just walks away. It's the greatest thing.
So good. What a beast of a man he is. Always loved him.
Dude, yes.
My West Coast homie. What sometimes when I get angry in promos, I fucking do Samoa Joe promos. I'll be like, I'll be like, what was the one I used? This was the funniest. Somebody I didn't notice it. Somebody spotted it out and they sent it back to me and they're like, "Are you trying to be?" I was like, "You came into my house. I let you into my house and you came in with muddy shoes on." And I was like, "That's some fucking Samoa Joe shit right there."
It is.
Oh.
It is.
So, any upcoming dates you got for the people to know about?
Right now, just next weekend, New South, I'll be in Florence, Alabama at the Singing River Brewery, I think is what it's called, for the Dump Sanders Holiday Special, which is they're gonna. I'm trying to think of who's gonna be there. I know Kenzie Page, Hunter Drake,
Flippy
Big
shit.
Dave, yeah,
Does
and
it?
then
Okay, Big Dave. Does he not remind you? Like I met him like one time at the Galaxy when it stopped and became 127.
mhm.
He reminds me of a giant Adam Page.
Yes, dude, he does. Like I've seen him, and I've seen the long, flowy, curly hair, and I'm
It's
like,
the whole thing.
yes, like I'm like, dude, when did they bring Adam Page in here? Like, then he turns around, and I'm like, oh,
It's still close though.
yeah. And then for that show, they're also bringing in a guy from New Japan who's currently teaming with Kushida in their tag tournament over there right now, Kevin Knight.
Yep.
Yeah, they're bringing him in for that one. And then as of right now, that's the only show I have booked throughout the rest of the year. Christmas time, I know
Yeah.
EPW's running their Christmas show, but I'm going to have family stuff going on with all that time. I'm not going to be able to do it. So I think the 17th may be my last show of the year until January 7th.
I never say never, but I think I am I think I got like one more and I'm done for the year too.
Yeah.
I got asked by like a couple of promotions like, you want to come for Christmas? And I was like, no. No, I don't. You don't want that heat. You don't want that heel. You don't want the Christmas Grinch version of me. I'd rather be at home doing anything than beating up some I mean, actually that's fun. It sounds cool, but
Oh,
I get in
yeah.
trouble.
I will,
So,
I will put over
uh
the EPW Christmas show while we're at it, though, because they are bringing in Ace Austin for that.
oh,
They are, yeah.
Oh
Yes.
no, that's tight. I enjoy
Yeah.
it. That guy can fucking go, man.
Dude, yeah, he can. I seen him have a match before I got into business in Jackson, Tennessee. Him versus Blake Christian.
Fuck.
Dude, talk about a banger. Like,
He
that
does
match
that.
was insane.
He does that apron spot with the one arm handstand. Then he comes back and his legs are so damn big. I
Dude, they
was,
are. Everybody's got tree trunks.
dude. So does
Like,
fucking Colton. Colton has giant legs.
Colton.
What does he go? Cage.
Colton Cage. Yes.
Giant tree trunk legs.
Yes.
I remember I
Like,
asked him. I was like, "What do you do?" And he said what he did, and I was like, "Dude, I do the same shit." Like,
you're
I,
just not as genetically gifted as he is.
right? I was like, "I'll move away from his missile drop kick. I'll tell you that much." I'm walking away. See you, Colton
Yes.
Cage.
I couldn't blame you on that one. I'd try to stay away from it too.
I took a splash 2 weeks ago from a guy who's 400 pounds or something close to that. I'm glad to be alive. I didn't think I would be. So if you had a diehard spot, like if you could pick a brand and they were like, all right, contract, everything's good, where would you go?
I think now with the changes that have happened this year,
Going to WWE, aren't
I'm
you?
gonna have to take the E. Yeah, I mean, before when Vince was there, no, I don't. I couldn't have trusted him with my career. Honestly, I would definitely have to say the E now. Or, I mean, Impact's got some really good stuff going on right now.
I was just in the
Like,
locker room Saturday with Crazy Steve.
oh man, funny story about Crazy Steve. Not really funny, but like one of the first times like I ever got in a wrestling ring, like just learning a little bit of chain. Uh, I wasn't grasping it, and Crazy Steve was on that show, and he comes over here. He's like, "Hey, what are you trying to do?" I don't even remember what I was trying to do. I'm just like, I'm trying to do this thing. He literally like takes my foot, grabs it where it's supposed to go. It's like, that's how you do it. I'm like, oh, okay.
Thank you,
I don't.
Mr. Steve.
Yeah, I don't remember what it was. I couldn't do it now because I don't remember. But that's the story. That's my story of the time I met Crazy Steve.
He came over, he picked up my title belt, and he goes, "That looks fucking good." And I'm just like, we all got into this business because we love wrestling. I'm a fucking mark for it. I'm not gonna lie. I was in there with I had James Storm. I was like, he didn't say anything to me. I guess he didn't know that I was a worker or anything like that.
uh,
I almost sat on his damn cowboy hat.
oh no.
Yeah, that would have been sorry about my damn luck.
Yeah, man. I did a show not too long ago with him too, actually. Earlier this year with EPW.
Yeah, dude, he's a super sad that he didn't get to reunite, with Bobby in WWE. That would have been fucking
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah. Well, if I remember, I think he told a little bit of that. Like that was right about the time COVID came around,
Mm-hmm.
and that he had like was in talks to go to like NXT, and then COVID happened and just ruined all those plans.
Shuttered everything.
Yeah,
Fucked up everything. Yeah,
yeah,
Tennessee's a good state to be in because we have like NWAs right by Impact. There's a lot of
yeah.
there's so many fucking wrestlers out here. It's just crazy. I remember watching a movie or something. I think it was like the Mankind. What was it? Beyond the Mat thing.
Honestly, I haven't seen that.
Oh, it's a good one. And they're talking, and they're like, today it was like 1997, 8. They're like, today there's approximately 2,000 independent wrestlers. There's like 2,000 in a fucking 100-mile area
Yeah,
now.
like, I guarantee there's more than that now.
Oh, there's fucking so many schools.
Yeah,
There's not so many great schools, but there are so many schools.
this is true, and there's so many. You can say the same thing for promotions. Like There's so many of them. They're not all good, but there's so many of them.
There are so many of them. People are like, I was talking to a friend, and they're like, I was like, dude, it feels like I wasn't around to feel the territories, but it fucking feels like they're back, like with a vengeance. Like,
Yeah.
yes, there's gonna be your top 5, top tier fucking shows, but there's a million promotions. If you want to get work and you want to fill a calendar up, you can definitely do it.
Yeah.
Not saying it's gonna. Oh, I saw this meme today, and I was like, yep, that's facts. Because when your wife finds out that you drive 4 hours for $20, and they just made you champion, so now you have to be there every week.
You see, that's why I don't drive 4 hours very often.
Nope, I just drive 5 and 6. I got some dates coming up in Indiana, I hope soon, so that's a good 8 hour.
I hope you're getting paid good for that.
I can tell you that there's an envelope. There will be cash in it. I don't know. I feel like sometimes they try to bring you out to see what you have.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, shit, you can fucking Google it and you can see. I'm not going to do flips, but I am going to hurt people. That's like my thing. I'll hurt your fans' feelings too. Like, I love doing that. There was a lady that was at EPW, and when I always go out there and I'm like, it's great to be in Oklahoma. And then it's like, they're like, it's Mississippi. And I'm like, what's the difference?
I'm willing to bet I could tell you exactly who that lady was, too.
So she's like, better luck next time. And I was like, sorry, I can't. I was like walking back to the back, and I was like, sorry, I can't say the same to you when you look in the mirror. I was like, I'm gonna be a heel, gonna do a heel. That's what I do. There's no heel or face with me. I'm just me turned up to 11. That's what it is. Shit, we've been on for a minute.
Yeah.
Can you give them some your Instagram and your Facebook links where they can find you, follow you, see where you're at, and all that fun stuff?
Oh, crap. I'm trying to think of what my Instagram is. Well, I'll just do this because I don't really use Instagram that much anyway. Facebook would just be Patrick O'Malley, like it says right there in the little corner.
Boom.
Just like that. I don't use Instagram a whole lot. Anything I got going on is going to be on my Facebook. So go add me. I'll get to it eventually. I don't check it all the time. I should get better at that.
I have a whole schedule. It's fucking stupid.
I'm not that. I can't do schedules like that. It's just
it sucks. I have a posting schedule and all this crazy bananas shit.
Yeah,
I just want to go to Japan and beat Japanese guys up. That's just what I want to do.
I mean, I do want to go to Japan and see some of the indie wrestling there. I've seen some of the scenery of like the shows there and everything. It just looks so good.
Yeah, you're like wrestling behind like a 2,000-year-old temple or something. Like, what the? Let's do that. I want to do that. I want to go everywhere. I want to do like a Scotland tour. I want to go to the UK. I want to go wherever there's fucking wrestling. I want to go. My buddy, he works in Puerto Rico, and he's like, you should come to Puerto Rico. And I was like, I've been giving him shit for like years, like a year and a half now. And I was like, no, because I don't eat plantains, and I know you have rolling blackouts. Oh, man. Well, I think I'm going to wrap this one up. This has been the Jackson Black Show. I am Jackson Black. This is the 1, 2, 3 man Falls Count Anywhere. Mr. Patrick O'Malley, the ref on the scene. Ladies and gentlemen, until next time, Rockwood, as always, go fuck yourself.